All right, just give me 1 minute. Okay. Let's start with the prayers. Oh, Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo, Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat, Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri, Gurave Namaha, Akhandamandalakaram, Vyaptam Yena Characharam, Tatpadam Darshitam Yena, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Namaste Sharada Devi, काश्मीरपुरवासिनी विद्यादानं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा ओम श्री सद्गुरुदेवाय नमः. Okay, so today's agenda is to do two things. Um, One is that we will finalize the structure of components, the component hierarchy that we were discussing at one point of time, so that it is more intuitive for the team and the team can easily work on it. And second is that if we get time, we will also integrate with the student made APIs that are now hosted in the cloud. So if let's see if that works. If that does not work, then it's not an issue. But at least let us begin with the structure. So I'll share my screen. So one thing that I've noted down is the actual response that we get from the student made APIs. No auth header. Okay, so they want us to auth. Over. Okay. All right. So let's not begin here. Let's begin at the level of components and API structure. And let us see where is our doc for student made UI flow. I'll also open up student made here. So this is the home screen that we have specified. Where is the component hierarchy? Yeah, which has sections and agenda. And sections is going to link to different sections, of which fundamentals is one. So we go to fundamentals. Now we have subjects topics, lessons, and lesson component within the fundamentals hierarchy. Okay, and these are page level components. That's the reason I am keeping them flat. Okay, otherwise they can appear, topics can also typically appear inside subjects, but then it will be too deep of a nesting. Okay, and I don't want to do that. Topics can also appear inside subjects, and lessons can appear inside topics, and so on and so forth. But as we go deeper, it will keep on creating very nested folder structure, which I want to avoid. So rather we would want to have a very flat structure. Um, so anytime within the app, I can just refer to other components like fundamentals, subjects, fundamentals, topics, lessons, so on and so forth. Or does it make more sense to, if I'm referring them, see, the reason I'm talking about this is this one, okay? Whenever we refer to some component, let's say subject, we will end up importing the component in router. So main is where the router is. And as you can see, we will say studies topic, studies lesson, studies subject. So here, what is making more intuitive sense? Is it going to be studies? Does this make more intuitive sense? Studies, studies subject, and studies subject topic. So does this make more sense, or the previous one is making
So you
more?
are talking about the hierarchy right now. There is a
Yeah,
subject under
yeah,
the subject, topic, and lesson, and then there is another concept of experience, which is learning, mastering, and evaluation, right? So
yeah.
that is different, and this is different.
Because learning, mastery, and evaluation are not a page of their own.
No, this learning, mastering, and evaluation come at the lesson level, right?
Correct. So
Once
they
you
are
get
within the
inside a
lesson plan.
lesson.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So they are not a page of their own, which is why we are not discussing that hierarchy at the moment at the router level.
No, so when you say lesson.tsx,
Hmm.
the lesson.tsx will contain
Hmm.
the learning part, mastering part, and the evaluation part. Am I
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. We will see, but
I
first
feel that earlier version is better.
it is better, but it is not indicating the hierarchy.
Correct, correct. It is not indicating hierarchy.
So we have come up with a hierarchy in Anupama first time when they did the thing, initial classes. So there will be subjects under that topics and lessons. And then each lesson is divided into learning, mastering, and evaluation. So this is very simple for us to understand also. And now Dhaval Vijayji talks about some verification model. So what is this verification, and what is evaluation, and then what is Vimarshana?
Yeah. Evaluation is the verification that Vijayji is talking about. And any
Yeah. So
offline verification is not covered by the app. Vimarshana is also offline.
offline.
Currently, we are not concerned about that.
So in the code, are you using it as verification or evaluation if you are using the term anywhere?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a slightly, that's why we want to explore the content portion more now. If we go to TeachMate, we will see that concept. Let me see. So we have learned mastery and evaluation, which is the block type now. AI tutor, it's let's skip that for now. And content type, we have mixed type going on, so we need to consolidate this now. We can rename this to markdown rather than text. And style is narrative, descriptive, expository, persuasive, and gamified. I think this is pretty much related to the learn part itself. Okay, the moment we go to mastery or evaluation, this goes away. So this style is more like, what is the style of the content? Verification, what Vijayji and we discussed earlier, curiosity, and what was the other one? Curiosity, experience, and verification. That is more like learning, mastery, and evaluation. We don't want to have further categorization anymore because it's creating confusion.
Yeah.
If that is needed, we will add it back. So to simplify things, we will just follow this convention and, keep on
Yeah,
having.
this is good. I mean, like based on that Darshanji's 8-page document, right? We have done all this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me. Okay, so text type will go to markdown actually. All right, so let us go back here. Okay, so I mean, I'm having a feeling that this hierarchy will make more intuitive sense at the level of this router, but let me also see if it's making more sense at the level of folder structure. Okay, so what we'll have is, in studies we will have a subject folder. Within a subject folder we will have a.
Dhaval, can you explain that thing under SRC? SRC, I understand it as source, and under that there are components, header, common, hooks, marks. So what are all these things? What are hooks and
Hooks you ignore. Hooks are something that Bolt has written.
okay.
Mock is mock data because we are running a mock server right now. So the data that is coming is this one, the mock data for that mock server.
And common is the common components on all the pages. What that does the
Yeah,
common mean
common
that?
components are the ones that are being used across pages. So, header is common to all the pages. Notification is common to all the pages. So it's more like, it cannot be categorized under a section. And this one is called actually, UI component card. Breadcrumbs and all should go here actually. Breadcrumbs and button should go in UI. So that's why it needs better organization. This is not very good organization. Let us.
And you have defined some interfaces. I've seen that
Yeah.
interface is a set of defining the type of the properties, what type it is, somewhere I've seen interface
Yeah.
in one
So
of
interface is basically going to finalize
C
what kind
interface.
of arguments this accepts. Okay. Because React functions are nothing but, React components are nothing but functions at the end of the day. It allows you to determine what are the arguments we are going to accept. And it will enforce that, so that when you have developed a component and somebody else is going to integrate it or use it, they are not going to make a mistake while using that component.
Now, supposing we take button props, it is
Hmm.
it is a component, button props.
It's an interface.
It's an interface. Yeah, you defined it as extends the React.button HTML attribute.
Yeah, that's useless actually. Don't, this is all bolt code. The moment I'm going to productionize, I'm going to right now remove it. Okay. So
So
button.
Dhaval, is a bold code different from a traditional code that somebody writes in UI US? Is it?
Yeah. I would not do all these things because my intention is to make things look simple so that others can work with it. Okay, my target while writing code is not just development. My target for writing the code is collaboration. It's a very subtle but big difference. Okay. We want to write code in a way that is understandable by other people as well. Okay, not just by computer. If we were to just write code for computer, then it will be a very different story.
Okay.
But we want to be able to collaborate within the team. That's why we are writing the code in a certain way. So at this point of time, see here class name and children, it actually designed this component in a way where it inherited class name and children properties from that button element. But I would not have done this. It has actually created in a different way. Now it's giving an error. I removed this and it's giving an error. It says that button cannot have these properties.
Okay.
Yeah. What it did is actually it inherited from the native button and added all these properties to it. Variant and size. That means variant and size are its own property, and class name and children are the properties it is inheriting. But it's a very poor way of working with buttons. So I'll have to refactor this. This is not a good design. Okay. So let us even see what this button does to start with. Is this even being used somewhere? Okay, so daily activity chat, gallery, scorecard, AI evaluation. Okay, all of these are using that one. Quiz mastery. They are using the button component.
Okay.
And it has defined variant and size. Oh my God. Okay, we'll have to see something about it. So I'll remove button from here. I don't want to use this button to start with. Breadcrumbs is not used anymore. We will remove that. Student profile. Now that's, let it be there. Card is okay. Where is the header? Notification, student summary, and profile. So there is one more component here, profile. Okay, let's get back to the lesson part. That's the most important one. All these are small components. So and one more thing I want to refer to here is our student made scratchbook.
So Dhaval, if we structure it and define it and then give this flow to Bolt and ask it to give a rewrite the code,
Hmm.
will it be able to do?
It will be able to do, but what we need to ensure is that in the process, there are some checks. Okay, so if we have those checks in place, then it will at least ensure that the application works even after that refactor. This is early enough for that we can
Without
do some
disturbing.
experiment. But yeah, we should actually try doing that. Not a bad idea. We can give this structure to Bolt and it can rewrite and see how that goes. Okay, so lessons, lesson list, lesson, AI buddy. Now, the API that we want to use for lesson, current API that we have defined inside the lesson is this one that is there in our code. So lesson content is the structure that we have going on right now. Okay, so what we have in our JSON here is K item ID, K item type, experience type, K URL, K desk, progress is completed, is locked. Okay, versus what we are using here is ID, title. So we need this actually. And where is the we also need not just KURL, we need a field called content, which may be of the type URL.
What does that mean, being a type URL?
So what is happening here is that if the currently we are assuming that everything is going to be delivered as URLs, video URL or audio URL or PDF URL. So there is no provision for having a text content delivered right now.
Okay.
So we need to change this proposal now. This is, I think, one of the most important exercises we need to do right now. get lesson. Student ID equal to 1, lesson ID equal to introduction to gravity. Now, it's not an array that we are expecting. It's a object which has lesson ID and lesson name. And then we are expecting this array, which is basically nothing but an array called k items. Okay. K item ID, K item type.
Lesson ID, lesson name, key items, key item.
So instead of experience type, now we want to say journey type, which can be
Learning.
possible values are learn,
Master.
master, okay, or learning, mastery, and evaluation. Okay, and key item type can also be text, in which case we should be able to provide let's say audio, in which case we should be able to provide k item content. Let us see if this can be successfully adapted. Okay. We can also say here and journey equal to learning, which will return all the k items which are only related to learning.
Round compound.
And one more thing that we need to ensure, so for our
So here we said K1 curiosity in APIs. If you see all the APIs.
where
See there only where you were showing just now. There is a
K1 curiosity.
API. Yeah, that one curiosity.
Yeah. So instead of, I mean, K-desk, I don't even know what would be this because we are already having a
Yeah.
Journey type now.
So, but we are not now using a curiosity, right? So, what
Yeah.
will this API do in that case?
Yeah, we will have to circle back to, Shravanji and Vijayji to
Yeah.
get this updated. And I mean, I would to be idempotent. Idempotent, it is wrong word. To be,
Maybe tonight in huddle we can ask.
yeah, yeah, to be concise and, you know, not having redundancy in the names, we can just say ID type, content, journey type, URL, because, you know, we are already referring to K items here. So since we are already referring to K items, I don't think we need to worry about again adding K item in the names here. This makes it more simpler to work with. So the lesson output is this, and this is a sample journey, learning journey K items. Okay. Let us also think through for the mastery one. And the reason we want to keep these separate is that, you know, we want to directly arrive at this section in future. Okay, so we don't need to load, you know, everything at once, rather only load mastery or learning or evaluation at one point of time. So mastery key item type is actually going to be very simple. It can basically do the same thing that this is doing, which will be mostly serving the content. So if this is the case, we are going to just say mastery URL is not also there. We will say it is text, but it can theoretically support all the types. And there is no progress involved. I don't know if, yeah, there is progress involved here. Is completed is locked. Okay, so this is now the type mastery, and the hardest one is actually the evaluation. Yeah. So here what happens is actually, now this is done and dusted. So let us close this out. Let us refer to the code that we have going on right now. Two things that are missing from our, that are missing from this one is in our K items, we have something called AI tutor enabled. So this thing that needs to be added now.
What is that Google Drive file that is there?
It is just a tentative PDF we stored somewhere for demo purposes, but it will come from some proper PDF source. Okay. So is AI tutor enabled is another flag that we want to supply, which it can specify if the AI tutor is enabled for this lesson or not. If we want to selectively disable it for some lessons, then we can disable the AI tutor, and basically our front end will read this configuration and disable the AI tutor based on this flag. So this is good. And another thing is AI tutor instructions. Okay, one more thing that can come here is prompt. Okay, so true, false. So instructions is actually the instruction that is provided to AI tutor.
What is the difference between prompt and instructions?
Prompt is the prompt it will show.
Yeah, same, no instruction.
No. Instructions is a different one. So prompt is like, if I want to show something very specifically here,
Yeah.
okay, it will show here. Instructions is like, this is an introduction
Prompt is
to
by the
gravity
user and instructions is from our side.
from the teacher. Yeah. This is instructions are given from the teacher. When they are creating the lesson, they can say that, this is the type of the content, interact with the students in this particular way. Okay. So they can give additional instructions if required. So that is one way of fine tuning directly from the teachmate. So this is our AI tutor will follow these instructions, whatever instructions are given to it. So it is operating within those instructions. So this is instructions portion as well. And lastly, where does this go? We need to have the evaluation, right? So evaluation is actually like this. Evaluation will return a little bit of unique response. And let me see if it can be categorized as a K item or not.
So basically, evaluation will give a response in terms of number of points they have earned.
Yeah. No, sorry, say that again, please.
Evaluation, the response would be you have earned so many points. Is that what evaluation returns?
No, evaluation is actually giving them the content for evaluation.
Oh,
Then
the content is the, yeah.
Yeah. So UI is going to evaluate based on that content. So whatever quiz content was provided from the API, UI will render a quiz. So this was the mastery portion. Mastery is actually very simple. It's just rendering some content. That's all. Rich content. It can contain any markdown supported thing. So evaluation phase supports quiz and AI evaluation. So here, what I'm thinking is K item type becomes quiz. Okay.
Dhavalji, is there going to be only one type?
No, both can be there or one can be there. There can be any combination of
Types.
types in evaluation. Okay, so let us see if we can fit our evaluation within this. So ID, let me keep this consistent. So ID. Now type can be quiz. Content of the quiz is obviously markdown based quiz content. Journey type is evaluation. That is there. Points. Is what we need to probably add here. And the other type of a key item can be AI evaluation. And this will be a bit different. So here there is two things. One is prompt. So here also you can say like, AI tutor prompt and instructions, which will be like rubric. Okay. Like how do you evaluate the responses of student? Okay.
Yeah.
So those are both the supported inputs is actually redundant. We want to support inputs like image and text. So we will remove that. Points again is fine. We want points here. And progress is completed is locked is fine. So I think this is a comprehensive, structure for our APIs and our components. And now that we have learn, mastery, and evaluation APIs, do we want to map them to routes as well or no?
What does that mean?
Yeah, it's again a decision we need to take whether we want learn, mastery, evaluation as separate components or they are generic enough to be having their single component rendering three different experiences. Okay, my thinking here is that if we create three separate components, learn, mastery, and evaluation, okay, and let me add one more component here, which I think is probably already there now. UI header component message render. Yeah. So let me just add this to the common components.
So what you're saying is right now lesson includes learning, mastering, and mastery and evaluation. Instead of that being under a lesson, you want to separate it out.
Yeah, still they will be inside lesson, but
What difference does it make then?
Right now, there are no three separate files for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, versus
according to this structure, it will be different
files. Yeah,
files.
Okay. So I think it will come
And
like learn.tsx like that.
yeah,
Um,
because that will make it very explicit that what
yes,
is
yes.
happening here. Okay. So AI Buddy and AI Buddy at the moment is only utilized by Learn. We can think about later adding it to Mastery if required, but for now it is utilized by Learn. And this will be
maybe need
graduated.
and
AI
no,
buddy will
Davarji,
be on
because
all the pages, no, Dhaval?
Sorry?
because when they are not able to understand the application part, how to do, they need some more explanation. They may need
Yeah,
that
that we
more.
need to discuss today. Okay, so
Uh,
that let us discuss out these points with Vijayji today.
Yeah. And
Um,
AI buddy will be on all the pages, no, Dhaval, like learn, mastery.
Evaluation, there is already a dedicated evaluation buddy.
Okay, yeah.
So there we want the evaluator buddy. AI buddy on mastery is one question, and deprecation of experience types in favor of journey. Okay, these are the 2 points we will want to discuss today. Let me also paste it somewhere so that I don't
And
forget.
you spoke about some API also, which you said you will ask Shravanji.
Yeah, that we will, yeah, and API refinement. Student made API refinement. Okay, so we will want to discuss these things today, but we want definitely learn mastery and evaluation because that will make things very easy to understand. You know, quiz will be within
Evaluation.
evaluation and
evaluation.
yeah, so you know you'll be able to quickly find where are what things, and if you are referring to quiz, that means that you are probably referring to the evaluation quiz.
So,
Dhavalji, when we are changing this structure here, will that affect the link that we provide in the route there
It will not
in
affect.
signing?
No, it will not affect. If you see, the only thing that will be affected is this one. How you import those, because this is where you specify the hierarchical path. The route remains independent of that. Okay, this is see, this is for us. This hierarchy is for us. Okay, it makes our life easy. Okay, this is for users. This is concerning, you know, how users use the application.
Okay.
Okay, so here what will come is instead of a lesson component, or there will be probably a lesson component, but here there will be learn, master, and evaluate component now, rather than them, you know, specifying null here.
Null.
Yeah. Okay, it's doing a lot of weird tricks to get this working, which we don't like. So we will want this to be independent components. That is how it is very easy to reason things about. Okay. And all these learn, mastery, and evaluation components receive, wait a minute, receive props. Okay, so we need to add these into our routes now. Rather than, you know, we specifying this as a lesson component, we say that learn component learn. Okay, and what this does is state is lesson content or learn content. So what this will do is, since this is learn, it takes in lesson ID and it triggers the lesson learning journey from the API response. So now this becomes an independently functioning component. Let me still think about it one more time. Okay. Does it work like that? Do we need anything to be shared between multiple lessons? I mean, multiple journeys? Apart from this, nothing else is shared between these journeys. Okay, this is the only thing that is common. And this actually, if you think, hard, it looks like, it works like a breadcrumb. So rather than, this being a component that is the parent component of all, let this be some sort of a breadcrumb which can be used commonly across all three components. Okay, so we
You would say, can you I heard breadcrumb, but can you say what is the small ones?
Yeah. So breadcrumb is when what specifies your application path. Cloudscape, design. I'm so sorry for using Cloudscape all the time, but I have learned all this from Cloudscape. So breadcrumb is like this. It will show you where you are within the application. So
yeah, got it. Yeah.
What happens is that here we can just use this kind of a component to show the journey, and they can click on any of them and it reloads the page with that particular piece of code. So it is much more stateful, okay, rather than this becoming a very complex component doing a lot of things on its own, which we don't want. So I think it's a good idea to extract this itself out as a breadcrumb. So let me add that here. Journey breadcrumb is a good idea, or journey flow is a good idea. And all these are the instructions we are going to give to Bolt. Don't worry that we will be doing a lot of experimentation here. Okay, so this becomes quite simple. Journey flow is the component that will be used by all these three to show where the user is in journey. Okay, so now does anything else remain for the discussion with respect to structure? Or is this looking better, or is there any suggestion? Agenda is fixed. Notifications I've added, but we have not yet gotten a chance to look at it. So we'll have to work on that as well. But at least let us fix this important portion now. We will now get this productionized. So like, we are discussing, we will do an exercise of telling Bolt to update the data structure, the API structure, and the component hierarchy according to the limit.
Hmm.
Okay. Do we have an idea? I think it was there in this repository. GitHub.com API integration. I've created a backup branch here, which actually had our API integrate. It's not in pages, it's in studies. See if we are using any API here. Slash API slash students slash K items. Okay, one good way of doing this search is rather locally. Main branch is clean, so not an issue. I just found it here. Okay, so one more thing we need to do with Shravanji is finalize not just the shape of API, but also the path of the content. So let us do that as well today. Where is that list? All right. So this is a very good structure. What I will do is, tomorrow we might just in our session tell Bolt to follow this structure and see what happens. Meantime, I'll also see whatever more concrete things I can add here, like with respect to props and state and things like that, so that once Bolt updates, it's better than, it's having better integrity. And what was the other thing we wanted to try today, apart from this structure and the One was structure that we discussed in the first initial part of the meeting. Other one was let's see. Yeah, I think other one was actual integration with the API, but looks like we have significant deviation from what is there right now in the live code. So let's sync up with Shravanji today and get that done. Meantime, we will still go ahead and integrate. We will still go ahead and have our app follow this endpoint and call these APIs and update the app to use the structure. Whenever, his API becomes ready, we will start using his API. But meantime, our mock server will still serve the responses if the APIs are not ready. Okay, so we will update our code to anyways start using the structure. And once his APIs are available, we will start directly consuming them. In the process, what will happen is at least whatever portions are working right now, they will get integrated. Okay. And especially the auth flow is what I am looking at. The auth flow will get integrated. So we'll copy the auth flow from this integration branch and see if that works. Okay. Any other things that anybody wants to discuss?
No, Dhavalji, you are trying to understand what and all you are doing.
No. I mean, one is structure of API.
Yeah, that we understand now.
And structure of components. We are only
While doing this only,
Hmm.
we are able to understand.
Yeah. This is only what we are interested in. Okay. Beyond that point, even AI helpers are good enough to do a lot of tasks, but this component clarity and API clarity and the granularity is what we want to have. Actually, we should do more of this to give you further clarity. So this is the fundamentals page, right? Now this is the science page. So science page, as you can see, let's not take this example actually. Let us go to the lesson page. So lesson page, as you can see, is not just having one component called AI Buddy. Okay, as we have listed here. There is one more component here on that page. What is that component on lesson page? Where is the lesson page? Yeah, here. What is that one?
Discover.
Yes. So it has one more. Let me actually extract it out so that we can do side by side work. And do this one here. Yeah. So as you can see, it has a thing called content. Okay. And it has a journey header. Okay. And
What is a journey header? That introduction to gravity is a journey header.
No, discover.
Discover, okay.
Yeah. So this is the journey header, because some of these components will be common, some of them will be. No, wait. Discover is not the journey header. Okay. Discover is the. I mean, this is where actually Vijayji's input still stays, but we want to still debate and discuss about that. What Vijayji has said is, this can be further customized based on whether it is a discovery or, I mean, curiosity or learning or evaluation. But one problem with that approach is that evaluation has now been extracted out of this journey. Okay, earlier what we were thinking is that there was no concept of learn, mastery and practice. So evaluation has been extracted out of this. Now we need to confirm with Vijayji if we still want evaluation to be a part of this.
No, this is how is discover let's explore something interesting. That is about learning only, right? It's not about mastery or evaluation. Are you talking about that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is very apt title, right?
No. So what Vijayji is meaning here is that he
This
says that
let's
there can
explore.
in the content, learning content itself, there can be three different experiences. One that sparks curiosity, one that sparks, like, it's more like learning mode or deepening the
Hook,
learn.
curiosity, explanation.
Curiosity, explanation, and what's the other one?
EIIE, right? If you are asking about that.
No, 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 not that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a different one.
Okay.
The movie that Vijayji explained, no?
Vijayji, yeah.
Hook,
Okay,
Curiosity,
curiosity,
explanation,
explanation,
interaction,
interaction.
and evaluation. Right?
curiosity, explanation, and evaluation or verification. Okay. So
Uh,
what Vijayji is meaning by that is that within learn itself, there can be one type of content which is a key item, which is like a slide like this only, but it is sparking somebody's interest. Okay, so that is like, it can have different kind of background, or it can have different kind of okay, so I think by this discussion itself, it is getting clear. We don't need to probably discuss that, and we need to keep this. Okay, we don't need to remove this. Okay, we don't need to deprecate experience type. I think we are now getting more clarity on what is this. So we still want this capability, which is it can have some sort of different background, different sound, different animation, because it is sparking curiosity. The next one can be learning, which is the explanation.
Yeah.
It is, I mean, this usage is ambiguous. We should change this here. But this learn and this learn are different. Okay, this learning is actually explanation of this concept. There can be a quiz here itself, okay, which is not related to the evaluation as such, which does not come as a part of, like, this thing. What do you say? That whether you actually did it or not. Yeah. Okay, but it can be a quiz in this series, whether you actually was able to learn the previous concept or not, and then it goes to the next concept. Does that make sense? So a quiz is a similar simple one-page quiz or two-page quiz here itself within the learn journey, which is a part of this.
learn understanding the concepts.
Sorry?
Yeah, no, I'm just reading from discovery
Yes,
of changed it to learn. Okay.
Yes, then in the evaluation journey, there may be the activities, what to say, the projects they submit, or the models they make, or the summary of the topic they provide, like that.
Yeah.
It
So
can
this,
become evaluation journey.
yes. So this K item type quiz is also a possibility in the uh,
Learning
learning.
journey.
Yes.
So
Yes.
learning journey is something like, the world, when we go to W3 schools, he will tell us, syntax or something, and then he'll say, test it, try it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it like that when you
Exactly.
say inside
Exactly.
learning only quiz will come?
Yeah. It's more for like, your journey
On
check
spot
rather than
exercises, right?
actual evaluation.
Hmm.
Sorry, say that.
On spot
On
exercises,
spot
evaluation.
evaluation. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So here we have uh, a K item type quiz possible as well, which does not have points. That's the only difference. So the experience type still stays here in that case for at least the uh, okay. So everything else is fine. There is an experience type which is curiosity, explanation, verification, and there can be another type here called which that also means that we probably can or have to modify the teachmate. Okay, this has an implication on teachmate. Add quiz type to learn journey, which is going to simply reuse the type that we have developed for reuse from evaluation.
Evaluation.
Just a minute. Huh?
Anupama, Rajita ji is not there, huh?
Yes, Gayatri ji.
I think there were no questions or anything from you, so I was just wondering are you
Oh,
writing in
kids
your
are trouble.
diary or not?
Oh, I'm not writing actually.
Mm.
Kids are troubling me. They are asking me
Let-
to do some chats. So I'm doing that
Yeah.
along with listening.
Mhm.
We
So
can use AI transcriber.
no, yeah, enough your AI.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Because Rajita will know the most important points rather than the AI. And her diary is our Bible.
But today I missed it. They're troubling me a lot. I don't know why.
Mhm.
They're asking me to prepare some aloo chat.
Yeah,
Live streaming is going on, I think.
I am also coming.
Okay,
Oh,
so there
sorry,
is one
sorry.
more request type, that is complete, that we need to support, which will post to the server that this key item has been completed.
Response 200.
Yeah, so this can internally track where is the student at.
Hmm.
Okay, so this is post complete. Okay, so this does look good now. I think that's why these discussions are very helpful. When we have this kind of collaboration, things will get sorted out. Let us now today finalize these things with the backend team.
Double show that Gurukul page. No, after learn, what is the next page that is coming now? After we have modified it. Okay, learn, and next will be
So currently we are all within this.
learn only.
Learn. No, first one is discover, which is curiosity. Okay, and what we are doing is, I mean, theoretically there can be much more styling done
So
based
when
on.
you separate out this learn, supposing you make them separate components, will it affect the way the web pages will be displayed, or the
So
web
see,
URL?
these I am not separating out as components.
Okay.
These different experience types are not different components. Okay. And now that we have a quiz as a shared component, what makes more sense is to extract out quiz as well and keep it at the level of learn, mastery, and evaluation. Because quiz is going to be reused across learn and mastery, learn and evaluation. Does this make sense? Like, what is the situation now? We want the same quiz component.
No, but so here, as per the structure, everything still comes under learn only. So learn is a component, mastery is a separate component, evaluation is a separate component, and under learn, everything is combined. Because this is with reference to what you said, like can we separate out learn, mastery, and evaluation as separate components?
They are now separate. Okay. No, see what you are talking about. Again, repeat.
Got it. No. It's now visible in the structure.
Hmm.
So under learn again, you have experience header, progress, content, AI buddy, which will be the same for mastery also, but evaluation might be different, right? In mastery also, all these three things will come. No.
Yeah. So content actually, no,
Under
mastery does
mastery,
not have
nothing will
content.
be there.
Mastery is not having a content, because content is actually
No,
having.
the project activity is a content only, right? So in
Yeah.
mastery, you are giving him a challenge,
Hmm.
asking him to solve it.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
there is content, right? Mastery.
Yeah. So markdown content is a component, but it's not a shared component.
Okay. And what about progress in mastery? That will not be there.
So those are simple enough components to be,
So these are common in all the three is what I'm saying. A progress, a AI buddy, and a content in all the three. I don't know, evaluation, I don't know, in mastery and learn.
yeah. Now what Bolt has done is that the Bolt has developed these as custom components. Okay.
Oh, okay.
But what we typically do in a React world is where we don't use custom components. We use components from a UI library. So if at all these need to be custom, then they will be here.
Yeah.
Okay. So so that it can be embedded here. So
This
this
is
will be,
more clear,
yeah,
Dhavalji.
yeah. So this will be embedded, the content will be, components will be embedded from the custom shared components rather than being defined all right. And quiz also, I mean, quiz is a very complicated situation. What is happening is that here the quiz is used only for simple knowledge check. Okay, it's not doing anything else. Whether it fails or passes, it doesn't matter a lot. Okay, versus, although there is a quiz here in the next um, evaluation portion. Let me directly jump there, which is very good. Seriously, did I stop the server or something? Yeah. Okay, so here what happens is, in evaluation, the quiz is supposed to do much more. Okay, it is supposed to grade you. It is supposed to, if the grading is successful and you are meeting a certain criteria, then, it will also, um, add the points to the student progress. So we have points, we have level and all, right? So this quiz assessment here is like, supposed to add points to the, see, it immediately added the points.
Yeah.
Okay, so versus that quiz is more or less just a, knowledge check. So that's the reason, although this is going to be a common component, the way it is going to behave in both of the places is different. So we can have a common component like quiz renderer, but there will be a component called quiz here.
In
And
learn also, Vijay, Dhavalji.
Hmm.
In learn also, we'll have a quiz.
Yeah. So learn will simply use the quiz renderer here because it's a read-only render. It doesn't do anything in terms of, points and all. Versus this quiz component will write back to the student profile after success. This quiz is going to update the student profile with the points once the quiz is successfully evaluated. So this is having things like, how many points one will get and all. Here we don't have the concept of points. That's why you see in the API response for the quiz inside a learn journey, we will not have points. But for quiz inside the evaluate journey, we are having points. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this is very good. This is amazing clarity we have on the content now. I mean, hierarchy now. I'll just do some more housekeeping and we should be good to do a live trial and experiment on Bolt on how good is it with following this structure. All right. We can, any questions? Otherwise, we can close.
No questions, Dhaval. I think we will bring up this in huddle, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Let's close. Asatoma Satkamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mratyurma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tatsat Shri Gurupyo Namaha Harihi Om Hari Om. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dhavalji.
Thank you, Dhavalji. Hari Om.